And with that, welcome to the Week 5 edition of the NFL show. That was kind of a retro theme song, wasn't it, Cole?
That was a throwback, I tell you that. And it's like from when I first started watching football, actually.
That's kind of how young we are, because that was from 98 to 2002, which we were 3 and 4. Pretty much he's a year older than me, if you didn't know that. So, 13 games last week, and I went 8 and 5. Now, 5 losses in an unusual week would be not too bad. 11 and 5, that would be halfway decent, but not this week. Iffy at best. What do you think, Cole?
Yeah, I probably could do a little better. This season's just been a weird season for picks, I'll tell you that.
Definitely. My record is now 38 and 23, while his is 35 and 26. So I've got a 3-game lead now as the Dolphins hammered the Raiders in London. I will say, well, I did not actually realize until after we went off the air that the game was in London last week, the Raiders game. But still, when my
That would help a little bit if I knew I was in London, because I tricked the Raiders because they were at home, I was thinking.
My fan remark last week still is the truth. People do actually call other people by those names. So that still stands true today. So nothing I could do about it except they were in London, which in 2 weeks is going to be another London game. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, let's get started with this Week 5 NFL show. We're going to go Green Bay against Minnesota, the Thursday night game in which the away team for this one had a bit of a surprise last week at the bank.
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings was a very good game last week as they beat the Atlanta Falcons, as Teddy Bridgewater, I think he did an amazing job in his first career start. Led the team up and down the field and even got a rushing touchdown in that game. And just the Minnesota offense looked like they were in click, I believe, for the first time this year. And they were able to stop this Atlanta offense. And once again this week, they're going to be going against another good offense in the Green Bay Packers.
Looks like it's Teddy time for the future.
Yeah, right. Well, he's still questionable for this game because of his ankle injury, which took him out in the fourth quarter in the Minnesota-Atlanta game. Mm-hmm. But for Green Bay, they also had a good challenge last week against the Chicago Bears and rised up against the Bears in that one and beat them. Aaron Rodgers had a very good game, throwing 4 touchdowns in that one, as well as his 2-star wide receivers, Nelson and Cobb. So the Packers, they're trying to get in a groove here in a battle in the NFC North between two teams. This one, I'm going to give the Packers in this one because they are at home. It's hard to win on Lambeau Field against that very high-octane crowd. And Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is going to have a good game against this Minnesota defense, and I'm going to take the Packers to win this one 28-17.
Green Bay is also my pick in this one because it's in Lambeau on a Thursday night. So it really at Lambeau, it doesn't matter if it's July 1st or January 1st. It's going to be cold at Lambeau at night. Where, just like in that commercial, dress warm, hats, gloves, warm boots. And if you're going to be at Lambeau, I suggest you wear those. Green Bay will win this one a little higher score, 31-27, because of course we know that Green Bay, even though they have the names of A.J. Hawk and Clay Matthews, still doesn't really have much of a defense. Their defense is Limburger cheese. Now to Sunday afternoon, Carolina against Chicago, a rare NFC South versus NFC North battle here, which those are the NFC divisional matchups this year.
Chicago, like I just mentioned, lost the Green Bay Packers at home last week.
Something about Soldier Field and the Bears this year.
Yeah, it's not going so good for them. But last week, I give them some credit because they did miss their star wide receiver, Brandon Marshall, who was not 100% in that game from what I was watching. Marshall's ankle was hurt in that one, and he was not able to jump. It looked like get the ball to him at all the entire game, which put the game in Jeffrey's hands, and Jeffrey could not really step up in that game as well. As his offense, with those two injured, it's hurting them a little bit right now, and Jay Cutler is pretty much forced to throw the ball to Bennett, who's been doing a great job filling in for the Bears right now. But this Bear team, this offense, if it can get this thing going, it can be a very strong team. They just need to get healthy first. Their defense, another little questionable thing for their team as of right now. And for Carolina, they are on a little of a slump right now as they've now lost 2 straight games.
Heck, the whole NFC South is in a
slump. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. That's true. I was trying to think of who was in the division now. But yeah, entire division's having an issue right now. After being one of the best divisions in the league last year, too. Carolina, though, struggling. Cam Newton just looked like he wasn't up to the game last week as he was struggling. I believe he hurt his ankle again last week. So that's something to look into this week as well. Overall, this Carolina offense looks like they need to kind of get things going here again. As well as the defenses. That defense who looked good the first 2 weeks starting to slow down a little bit now after these last 2 weeks, taking these 2 losses. So once again, I hear a battle of 2-2 teams. And I'm going to go with the road team this one with the Chicago Bears. I believe the offense is going to get things going this one. Cam Newton, ankle is hurting him right now, and I just believe Marshall's going to have a big game in this one against this Carolina defense. I'm going to take the Chicago Bears over the Panthers, 17-14.
Yes, the Panthers have been struggling, and so has the NFC South. A division of strength last year is now a division of weakness.
I believe the one team is 2-2, and the other 3 are 1-3 right now.
I think there's something like that because the Saints are 1-3.
Atlanta's 2-2. Yeah, Atlanta's 2-2. So 2 teams are 2-2, 2 teams are 1-3. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of sad, but it's true. Chicago will win this one. I also picked alongside Cole there. 17-10 is my final score, as Carolina's defense is, though, like I said on a radio show before, the Legion of Boom East. LOB East. Let's call it that because they're good. I want to see Seattle play Carolina, see how many points
that'd
go
be a
up.
pretty good game, actually.
That happened last year early, I think, and nobody thought of it because Carolina didn't turn it on until later, of course. 17-10 in favor of Chicago, that one. Tennessee against the Cleveland Browns.
Browns coming off their bye week now, a little week for rest for that team. Which is pretty good because they have some beat-up running backs after their first 3 weeks of the year. And so far, a team that does have a 1-2 record, I believe right now they look like the best team for 1-2 record. They've lost every one of their games or won their games by the last play of the game. So they've been in every game and they've been doing a great job. Hoyer doing a great job holding his team up. And
one thing's for sure, John Gruden loves Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you that.
If you watch the Frank Caliendo skit.
But as right now, I have Hoyer, who deserves to be the starting quarterback right now. And I said that last year because if you watch the beginning of last year, he did a great job leading this team up and down the field, and they had a winning record for a little bit with Hoyer at the starting quarterback position. And this team, they have a lot of possibilities for this team, I think, going in the future here, as this team's going to get better and better as the season goes on, I do believe. As for the Titans right now, they are in a slump right now, as they now just have taken their 3rd straight loss of the year and getting demolished by the Indianapolis Colts. As the Titans trying to figure some stuff out, their offense is looking pretty weak right now. Defense as well looking very weak. So this will be an interesting game in my mind. I think this was a hard choice for me to choose who's going to win this one because Tennessee is at home. But I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns in this one. I believe they're going to get to a 2-2 record with this win. I believe Hoyer's going to have a good game throwing the ball. And I believe the Cleveland Browns defense is going to step up here once again against a struggling Tennessee defense. And the Browns are going to win this one 21-17.
Well, CJ Militello, you will be pleased. But I will get to that point in a second. Because we're the Browns, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Sarah Carnes. She has just left Fox Sports Ohio after 3 years as an FSO girl. Is a Cleveland Browns sideline reporter, host on 95.5 The Fish Cleveland from 6 to 9 a.m., I believe. So give a listen to her if you're in the Cleveland area. Best of luck, Sarah. But anyway, Cleveland Browns here. They have been, like I said 2 weeks ago, the most interesting team in the NFL. Stay thirsty, my friends. They have, like you said, all 3 games this year have come down to the final play. And I had the Cleveland Browns this year at 3-13 before the season started. If they win this game, they will finish much better than 3-13. And I also picked Cleveland to win this game. 17-14 is my final score. Defense is proving strong again in that game too. Hoyer is their starting quarterback, and they should be. Because, well, the Browns win when he starts.
Yeah, so far.
We don't know how Johnny Manziel does.
You know, he can catch a ball. We found that out.
Yeah, but Hoyer is your starter because you win with him. Pretty easy. Cleveland 17, Tennessee 14. The Eagles against St. Louis.
At St. Louis right now, they got a bye week to give their team some time to rest. As this team right now, I think they're trying to figure some stuff out as well as...
Their defense got Warrenitis again.
Yeah, pretty much is that defense. Trying to figure some stuff.
St. Louis joke there.
Yeah, the St. Louis Rams is trying to figure some stuff out on the defense right now, and it was Bobby gave them a chance to try to figure that out. Offense positions, there's also some questions in there as Davis, their new starting quarterback now after Bradford being hurt. He's been doing a pretty good job so far this season at the starting quarterback position. Zach Stacey. Yep. I shouldn't get that. I thought I said it backwards for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah, he's been doing a pretty decent job in the backfield right now after losing Steven Jackson. And now this St. Louis team just trying to figure out these new players in their offense and defenses, trying to get them into the groove. And for Philadelphia, their undefeated season came to an end last week to a loss against the San Francisco 49ers in a very impressive game for the 49ers. As it wasn't for that Philadelphia special teams and defense, the offense did absolutely nothing this entire game. As Foles just pretty much got smashed, and same with McCoy, as this team could not get anything going at all. The one drive they did, it was the final drive of the game, and they could not do anything in the red zone and get it in the end zone at all, which gave the 49ers the win in that one. So, but I do believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to come in this game angry. They are at home. Their offense, I believe, is going to get rolling in this one against this hurt St. Louis defense. And I do believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game over the St. Louis Rams 31-10.
The bye week definitely helps St. Louis on their defensive side, but the Eagles will not help them at all. Especially being at Lincoln Financial Field, which punk rockers like to call Lincoln Park. Get it?
No, I know.
It's not going to be pretty for the St. Louis side. And the key to the Philadelphia offense last week was not all that great. And as we discussed in weeks before, who was the key to their offense, in my opinion?
Who are we talking about? St. Louis?
Philly.
Philly. Sproles. That's right.
Well, not
Foles. My bad.
Nick Foles.
That's right.
Although Sproles is a great running back, it's Nick Foles that
Foles.
really determines what, and at least I think, is going to determine if they're going to have a great day or not. And the Eagles will be angry, and so will
Foles.
Nick Foles. And they will win this one 31-20. The defense in St. Louis still iffy because of their injuries. Segment 2 of this show is coming up next.